Hello, everyone. We are presenting from San Antonio, Texas, Northside ISD. We are all APE specialists in the district, and we would like to share with you a project on a budget, Make It with PVC. This is a little about us. Melanie is the mastermind behind all of the PVC products that you're going to see today. And she's been teaching for 27 years. And we also have Julie. She has been teaching for 17 years, and myself, Ashley, I've been teaching for 14 years. So there's just some a little bit of information about us. And I will now turn it over to Melanie.
All right, guys, the first slide that you're going to see here with the PVC pipe is our soccer device. I created this. Julie had asked me to create this for a student. If he got hit in the legs, he had severe pain. So we created this. You can adjust it pretty much to the size that you need to put on a wheelchair. We have it attached here to a chair, so with some bungee cords, so that you can see how it works. If you flip to the next slide here, you'll be able to see it's actually on his chair. It protects his legs, the pole that comes up, and he's able to push the soccer ball around. If we go to the next slide, you'll be able to see him actually using it with his electric power chair. All right, so the next slide here is one of Ashley's students. We created pretty much the same type of device. He had brittle bone and was also unable to get hit, so we used the same theory basically. And for him, in order for him to strike, we went ahead and Ashley added the little striking implement on the front with a bungee cord. It was a little too heavy for him to control, so this way all he had to do was move the stick around and he's able to do striking. The next device here, again, Julie had asked me to create something for her, for one of her students, for golf. So I made this little device here using a Yolf, I'm assuming that's how you say it, a Yolf golf club. You are able to either pull it backwards, forwards, push it. Julie also had it like a string attached to it for one of her students to use. And once we go to the next screen, you'll be able to see an up-close picture. That way, if you decide you need to build you one. Okay, so again, this is how it works. They just grab the handle. You can either just grab the handle and push it forward. If you push it forward, then you just release it and it'll hit the ball. Or you can just grab the handle where it's at and just kind of move it forward, and that'll also propel the ball. Again, you can attach the string to it and it'll also work that way. So the next screen, you'll see it in action. Right there, you're pushing it forward and just letting it release, and it hits the ball forward. On this one, you just push it a little bit forward, and it also will propel the ball. Okay, the next contraption we made here is for bowling. We have for this device, it's for our visually impaired students. If you look real close, there's a Velcro strap at one end and a Velcro strap at the other end. The student would place their hand on the first Velcro strap, or you can place their hand on it for them. They would be holding the ball in their right hand, or you could flip it around if the student is left-handed and flip it the other direction. You would walk from the first strip of Velcro to the second strip of Velcro. That's when they know that they need to stop, and um, that's where they would release the ball. The next screen just shows you some more setup of that. We have one for our taller students and then one for our younger students who would be shorter. And then there's a device there that will show later on that you set the ball on, and it actually, you're able to um, push the ball. If you actually use this at a bowling alley, or if you're using it at one of your campuses, you can put bowling balls in the square so that it holds the device in place. Okay, so the next screen, you're going to see it in action. All right, there's an up close of the actual device I used. What you do is you set the ball. There's a little bungee cord. It's hard to see in the pictures, but there's a little bungee cord across the front, and you set the ball in the device, and it's the pole. You hold the pole in either your right hand, left hand, depending on which is your dominant hand, and then as you're walking forward, you're going to give it like a little push, and you'll see the ball will release. On the next screen, you can see I had added some wheels, some casters to the bottom of that. All right, so let's go to the next screen, and you'll be able to see how that device actually works. Okay, you're making sure that you hold your elbow back that whole time. Otherwise, the ball will not release out of there. You kind of have to give it a little bit of a jerk. So if you're holding your elbow back and you're walking forward, as you get to the end, you push forward. As you can see on the video, you push forward and kind of just stop and give it a little bit of a jerk, and it'll release the ball. All right, the next slide here is our scooter. This was created for one of my students. He was able to get around, um, but he enjoyed doing things on the floor, on the scooter, with the rest of the class. So if you can see all the balls in the background on this one, they were playing a game where they had to throw it and knock over the bowling pins. So we actually attached a second scooter to the front of that one, as you can tell, so his legs wouldn't be dragging. And he would push himself around, get a ball, and he could throw it over to the other side of the gym to knock over the pins. So I added as you can see in the picture there, it didn't have the pool noodles on it, but we went ahead and added pool noodles just for comfort, so that they weren't so he wasn't hitting himself on the PVC pipe. All right, so the next screen here is the sit and reach. The boss asked me to create some sit and reach that we could take from campus to campus, so I created several of these. You pretty much, the slide is pretty self-explanatory, but the best thing to do is to be sure you have it up against the wall, and then as the student sits down, they put their feet up against the little square there, and there's a little round ring that you'll be able to see in the next slide that pushes forward, and then you can just pull that back, and then you can redo the trial. Okay, so we have Julie demonstrating in the next slide. Notice how that slides forward. You can bring it back. And there's just an up close of it. Slide it forward and you bring it back. Okay. The next slide here is a fitness machine that I just created recently. It has several different uses, and you can pretty much customize it to whatever you need. In this one, you can see I have two different, well, it's hard to tell right here, but there's two different color tubings, the blue one and a black one. I also have a balloon hanging down. It's on like a pulley type system so that you can move it up and down according to whether you want to strike or whether you want to kick. And then also to the sides, you see yellow and blue therapy bands. Okay. So the next screen just gives you some up close pictures. In the syllabus, you will have the actual dimensions for this machine in case you want to create it yourself. Those are just some eye hooks up there so that these things can, so that you can slide the bands through them and attach it. And you can change these out if you like. Okay. So the screen is Julie and I working together, and she's going to demonstrate this for you. Okay, you can do some tricep pull downs with one arm. Stop it. Go ahead and go. We're going to go to the other arm. She's going to do some tricep pull downs with the other arm. And now we're going to do two arm tricep pull downs. Okay, there's just another picture with, you can see up high with the different therapy, the two different therapy bands attached, blue and a yellow. That just happened to be what I had on hand, so that's what I used. Okay, and now we're going to do a demo with Julie with the therapy bands. Okay. Okay, she's getting full extension up and down and working across the body. Go ahead and switch to the other side, and we're going to do the same thing the other direction. Again, you can customize these, do all different types of exercises to fit your students' needs. Okay, the next one we're going to go ahead and show you, it's the balloon attachment. Again, I have like a little pulley at the top with the paracord, and you can adjust it up and down. If you have higher level students, you may want to put a punching bag or something to that effect at the top for them to work with. Okay, the first one we're going to show the video is Julie striking with her hands. Okay, on the next one, this one here, I used some PVC pipe and just made some drumsticks, and I put some BBs inside of some, and then in some other ones I put some marbles, so it just gives an extra added sound for the students. So this is just striking the balloon with the stick. Okay, and again, you can adjust the height of the balloon as to your students' needs. Okay, the next slide. On the next slide, I went ahead and pulled the string all the way down so that Julie can demonstrate kicking. And on this one, I kind of held it out in front of her a little bit so that she was able to demonstrate the actual kicking. Oops, there we go. That's all right. Ashley's getting ahead of us there. There we go. We got kicking. And switching to the other leg, doing the same thing. All right, in the next slide, you'll notice we're not in the same setting anymore. After we did the video, I decided that I wanted to add a tricep bar or a lat pull down bar to the device. So I went ahead and took it home and did that. So I went ahead and added that bar, and you can see the pictures there. And then we're going to go through the video here. I am actually doing some tricep pull downs, and then you'll see some lat pull downs. And here's your lat pull downs. Again, you can adjust all this machinery to fit your needs.
And now we'll take questions. Thank you so much.